safer world is possible, and together we can and will make it happen. Thank you.
When you show up in community, you find that group that makes you feel like home, but oftentimes you also find yourself again.
He's got a good PR guy, hasn't he?
Well, so do the royal family. They all seem to have very good PR guys.
No, I think the royal family have had terrible PR over the years, but that's a different debate. I mean, the point is this: Narinder Kaur, thank you for joining me. I know that you have been supportive of Harry and of Meghan.
Yes.
But to constantly go on international media to be abusive about your brother, his wife, your father, to do this again and again and again,
well,
and to claim, hang on, and to claim that you have to do it in public because they won't listen in private. Let's face it, he's doing it for the money, isn't he?
Well, what's wrong if they're doing it for the money? They've got bills to pay. There's nothing wrong with that. Media makes money from Harry and Meghan. Why shouldn't they make their money? They've got bills to... They're not sponging from the taxpayer. They're not...
Making money, slagging your own family off.
Well, no, because
and slagging your country off.
Well, no, King
Charles
and Prince William are doing underhand. This is a story of betrayal.
Absolutely.
Prince William has been very naughty.
The betrayal...
is from Prince William.
The betrayal was that Harry walked away. He was born to a life of privilege, but a life of duty as well. He walked away from it. He walked away from it.
Should I tell you why he walked away? Because it took marrying a biracial woman for him to realise how racist the institution he was in. He thought, no, you cannot deny.
This is so wrong.
Nigel, how can you deny the racism? How?
Do you know how? Very simple. I think they had an absolute fairy tale wedding. I think the country took to them in the early months as she toured in Brixton and wherever else it was.
Yes. She did a great job.
The tabloid media, everyone was behind them. They chose...
Until when?
They chose to go to the other side of the world.
No, but why? Because they were being bullied. They were constantly being harassed. Yes, you may say the country took to them, but actually the minute a biracial woman wasn't as subservient as in white spaces, as soon as Meghan wasn't the person you wanted her to be, and a strong black woman, that was it. People had enough.
Most people
and they went in for the daggers.
I don't think people didn't even regard her as black when she first came on the scene.
Well, a biracial woman, they didn't regard as a woman of colour.
But by the way, whatever's been said about Meghan, right?
Horrible things. Picture of a chimpanzee when Archie was born.
Yeah, horrible things get said about all public figures, all right? However, the point here is this. I'm beginning to wonder whether media commentators, myself included, have spent too much time talking about Meghan and not enough time talking about Harry. It's Harry that has betrayed his own family. Now, his claim, his defence, at every twist and turn of this, his defence is that the palace have been continually leaking stories to the press.
But so are you saying he's lying?
There's no evidence of it.
Oh, there is evidence. It's on the documentaries. If you watch it, there is evidence.
There's no evidence.
They blank out the names. But so you're saying Harry, who's served this country for 10 years, 3 tours
of
Afghan, you're saying he's now suddenly a liar. How is he suddenly a liar? Why don't you like his narrative? Why don't the British public want to hear, actually, my wife suffered racism and bullying? Why don't you want to hear that?
When your grandfather is on his deathbed...
Oh, well, that's a weak story.
And you know he's got days to live and you still go through with the Oprah Winfrey interview. When you make the last 2 years of a grandmother's life incredibly difficult because you're continually throwing your toys out of the pram.
What about Meghan and Harry's life? That was incredibly difficult. They were being thrown, as Meghan said, not thrown, fed. Stories were purposely being leaked.
Why?
Purposely being
What was the motivation?
Shall I tell you, Prince William and Kate Middleton, jealousy. Meghan and Harry were so popular, and I think there was jealousy. And Prince Charles, King Charles the Cruel, why hasn't he spoken to his son? Why hasn't he protected his son?
Well, actually,
why didn't they come out
more relevantly, why hasn't he taken his son's title away?
Their title that can't be taken away. Well, that would take an act of Parliament. You can't do that.
Well, I tell you something. The British public, I mean, Harry and Meghan's popularity in this country has gone from stratospherically high to, I mean, only Prince Andrew's below them. I mean, there are reasons,
Okay,
there are
obviously,
reasons for
yes,
that.
yes.
But their popularity is very,
But
very
yeah,
low.
we're still all talking about them. I think
very, very
you
low.
could take their titles off them; they will still stay relevant. No matter what you do, they will stay relevant. I think people didn't
I'm not sure they will.
They are so relevant.
We're going to get bored with them.
And no, you will not get bored, and they would have been great for this country. I think they're sad.
So why did they walk away?
Because they weren't being protected. Pictures, King Charles' grandson, there was a picture of a chimpanzee, and he stayed silent. Silence is not golden. Sometimes this institution, the monarchy, needs to speak out against racism, and they didn't.
This institution, this institution of the monarchy, has probably done more for black and Asian countries, I would say, in the last 3/4 of a century,
they colonised
than any other organisation, institution, or group of people
Explain to me
in
how.
the history of the world.
Okay, educate me.
In the history of the world.
Educate me then.
The Queen took up the Commonwealth, which was a baby organisation,
and used
and
it.
Tried to turn it into a force for good all over the world. And you know what? She did a hell of a good job.
But look what she did in India. Look what they did in India. They pillaged. They stole.
I said to you that over the last 75 years, the British monarchy has done more for black and Asian people than any other group of people in history.
They haven't. That is not
well,
true.
Narinder Kaur, you and I will disagree on that, we will disagree on that, but I'm pleased that you come and made the argument for Harry and Meghan. I don't agree with you, but I think it's important for our viewers and listeners that at the minute, with British media, it's all a one-sided debate, and we need to have a little bit more balance in all of our debates and all of our arguments, even if we disagree. And Narinder and I often disagree, but we do it in a reasonably civilised manner.
Yeah, I actually like you. It's hard to disagree with you. It's so hard for me to disagree with you. And you do educate me. But I want you to like Harry and Meghan and actually think, can they be forgiven? Can we bring them back?
I think, do you know what? The only way you get reconciliation is when peace breaks out. And peace cannot break out all the while they're firing artillery shells week after week after week. If they
Hello, and welcome to Sussexful as the host, Emma. Today, we're diving into a story that sparked global debate, Prince Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from royal duties. Some celebrate their independence, others see it as turning away from tradition. We'll explore both sides, not to pick a winner, but to understand why this story matters so much. Joining us are two guests with very different views, ready to share openly and honestly. Let's begin this important conversation. Let me introduce our guests. First, Narinder Kaur, a passionate defender of the Sussexes and their right to independence, and Nigel Farage, a public figure who values royal tradition and has been critical of Harry and Meghan's choices. This debate is about more than two people. It's about personal freedom versus duty. On one side, the right to choose your own path and protect your family. On the other, the belief that being royal means lifelong service and responsibility. These values clash, raising the question, is it more important to honor tradition or personal happiness? Narinder and Nigel represent these perspectives, echoing conversations happening everywhere. Our goal is to listen and understand the feelings behind the headlines. Let's hear their positions. Narinder, why do you support Harry and Meghan's decision? What makes their story resonate so deeply with you and so many others? Narinder, this is about human rights. It's about the fundamental freedom to make choices for yourself and your family, without being pressured by tradition or public expectation. Harry isn't owned by the system. He's a husband and father first. He has the right to prioritize his family's happiness and well-being above all else. He saw Meghan suffering under relentless, often unfair media scrutiny, and chose to protect his family. The constant negative attention was taking a toll on their mental health. They tried to work within the system, but weren't accepted. Despite their efforts, they faced barriers and resistance at every turn. Through their Archewell Foundation, they're still doing good, supporting mental health, helping communities, and using their platform for positive change. Their commitment to service hasn't wavered. They're redefining service, making it modern and personal. They're showing that you can serve others in new, meaningful ways, outside of traditional roles. The media's treatment of Meghan, often tinged with racism, was relentless. The scrutiny was harsher and more personal than most could imagine. Harry's decision was about love and protection, shaped by his mother's tragic experience. He didn't want history to repeat itself. They're financially independent, not taking public money, just asking to live and work as a family. They want to contribute to society on their own terms. Defending them isn't anti-monarchy, it's pro-humanity. It's about supporting the right to choose your own path, regardless of your background. Everyone deserves dignity and respect, no matter their background. We should celebrate diversity and support those who stand up for what's right. Their choice is brave and deserves understanding. It takes courage to step away from tradition and forge a new path for your family. That's why I support them. Their journey is about hope, resilience, and the right to choose your own future. Nigel, why do you see their decision differently? What makes this situation so divisive for the British public? Nigel, the royal family is an institution, not a regular family. It stands for centuries of tradition, continuity, and a sense of national identity that goes beyond any one individual. With it comes a pact of service, a lifelong commitment to the country and its people, often at the expense of personal desires or freedoms. Harry was beloved, seen as a modern royal who connected with the public. His departure felt like a betrayal to many who admired him. The way they left, through public announcements and high-profile interviews, seemed disrespectful to the Queen and damaging to the monarchy's reputation. The Queen has dedicated her entire life to duty and service. Seeing her grandson openly criticize the institution hurt many loyal supporters. People feel protective of the monarchy, which is more than just a family. It's a symbol of national pride, unity, and stability. Their pursuit of privacy seems at odds with signing lucrative media deals and giving revealing public interviews, which keeps them in the spotlight. To many, it looks hypocritical, wanting the privileges and recognition of royalty without accepting the responsibilities that come with it. Using their royal titles for profit, whether through business ventures or media projects, doesn't sit well with many who value tradition. Being royal is a privilege with immense responsibility, one that's meant to serve the public, not to promote personal brands or interests. The Queen put duty above all else. Many feel Harry and Meghan have put themselves and their ambitions first. In the eyes of critics, they chose celebrity and personal gain over the tradition of service. Some call it a modern approach to royal life. Others see it as abandoning a sacred duty that has held the nation together. That's why so many people are upset and feel let down by their actions. In the end, it's about responsibility, tradition, and serving the greater good, values that many believe should never be compromised. Let's talk about the media's role. Narinder, you believe Meghan faced unfair treatment? Narinder, absolutely. Meghan was held to a different standard, praised for things others were criticized for. The media narrative was negative, often tinged with racism, shaping public opinion unfairly. This relentless negativity damaged her mental health and created a villain for profit. Harry and Meghan stepped back to escape this toxic environment. Nigel, your response? Nigel, public figures are subject to scrutiny. That's part of the deal. The British press is aggressive with all public figures, not just Meghan. Some coverage was harsh, but they also reported on the couple's positive work. Blaming the media for everything avoids personal responsibility. The media reflects and shapes public opinion. Accusations of racism are serious, but not all criticism is racist. Honest debate is needed, not blanket labels. Let's discuss what service truly means in the modern world. Nigel, When you think of royal service, what comes to mind? How do you define it? Nigel. For me, royal service is about being present, supporting British charities, engaging with communities, showing up for the nation at key moments, and honoring traditions that unite us all. It's about being a living symbol of unity, someone the public can look to for stability and reassurance. In my view, you simply can't fulfill that role from California, thousands of miles away from the people you represent. Their foundation work is admirable and does a lot of good, but it feels more like global celebrity activism than the quiet, consistent royal service we're used to. The role of a working royal is unique, marked by steady, often unseen dedication to the nation and its people. By stepping away, they left behind that traditional role to pursue personal projects and a different kind of influence. Narinder, what's your perspective? Narinder, I believe service is about the impact you make, not just your physical location. We live in a global world where borders are less important than ever before. Harry and Meghan used their platform to raise awareness and funds for important causes everywhere, including right here in Britain. Their openness about mental health struggles has helped millions feel less alone and more empowered to seek help. They're showing a new, innovative model of service, one that combines philanthropy with advocacy and global reach. The traditional model can be restrictive. They're using their voices to tackle root causes and spark real change. Service is ultimately about what you do, the lives you touch, not where you happen to do it from. Technology connects us all, making location less relevant. Their impact is real and positive. Service can evolve, and perhaps it must, to meet the needs of today's world. Can you both see the other side's feelings? Narinder. I understand why tradition lovers feel disappointed. The monarchy is a constant, and change is unsettling. Lifelong duty is noble, and breaking from it feels like a broken promise. I empathize, even if I believe Harry's reasons were valid. Nigel, can you see why Harry and Meghan left? Nigel, I understand the pressure of public life and the instinct to protect family. On a human level, I get it. But I can't support how they went about it, publicly criticizing their family and causing division. They could have stepped back quietly. I sympathize with the pressure, not the choices. The way they left caused pain. I see the human motivation, but not the public actions. Despite your differences, you both show empathy for the other side. Behind the headlines, this is a family story about a son, a husband, a grandmother, all under immense pressure. Many families face painful divisions, but few do so in public. Remembering the human story helps us find compassion. It's okay to value tradition or personal freedom. Our experiences shape our views. The challenge is to hold our opinions with grace and empathy. Narinder and Nigel have shown respect in disagreement. This is the conversation we need. Empathy over anger. If we can imagine both perspectives, we move beyond blame. That's where real understanding begins. Thank you, Narinder and Nigel, for your honesty and respect. You've shown it's possible to disagree and still have a meaningful conversation. Understanding why people feel as they do makes it harder to dismiss or attack them. This debate will continue, but let's remember to lead with kindness. Everyone's perspective is shaped by their own values and experiences. The most important takeaway is the power of empathy and constructive dialogue. Before reacting, let's remember the human beings at the center of the story. Our words matter. Let's use them to build understanding, not division. Every conversation is a chance to be kinder and more connected. Thank you for joining us. Go well.